Ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Major Max Geron, M-A-X-G-E-R-O-N, the Dallas Police Department's Violent Crime Section. I want to talk briefly about a kidnapping and a robbery spree that occurred in the early morning hours. Last night at about 10:30 p.m., a female victim, about 28 years old, reported that she was backing out of a parking spot at the Greenhaven Apartments located at 8690 Virginia Parkway in McKinney, Texas, when a blue 2009 Dodge Charger, Texas license Frank Lincoln 5292, pulled up behind her. This vehicle had previously been reported stolen in an aggravated robbery in the city of Dallas on December 8, 2015. A suspect, who has been described as a black male in dark clothing, approached her driver's window, pointed a handgun at her, and told her to move over to the passenger seat. The suspect then got into the driver's seat and drove away in the victim's vehicle with the victim inside the car. A second black male suspect driving the blue suspect vehicle followed behind the victim's car. According to the victim, throughout the early hours of this morning, December 10th, the suspects drove her to several ATMs and businesses where they either forced her to make withdrawals or escorted her into the business and forced her to make purchases. The suspects drove the victim to the 1600 block of North Cockrell Hill Road, where a male was at the ATM. The suspects exited their respective vehicles and approached that male on foot. The male observed them approaching with a gun and jumped into his vehicle and fled. As he did so, one of the suspects fired shots at the male as he drove off. That victim was uninjured. The suspects then drove the victim to the Oak Cliff Donuts shop located at 2402 Southampton Boulevard. Both suspects then entered the business, leaving the female victim inside the vehicle. Once inside, the suspect struck one customer in the head with a gun and demanded money from the cash register at gunpoint, eventually also taking that individual customer's wallet before fleeing. Shortly thereafter, the suspects released the victim in the 2300 block of West Illinois, where she walked to a phone and called police. The suspects are more fully described as, and I'll start with the suspect vehicle. Again, that was a blue 2009 Dodge Charger, Shelby Edition, Texas license FLL 5292. The victim's vehicle, which remains unrecovered at this point, was a black Volkswagen CC, a four-door sedan, Texas license Frank Jack X-Ray, that's FJX 9806. Suspect 1 is described as a black male, about 5'7" tall, stocky build, either late 20s or early 30s, light skin with no tattoos, bruising below one eye, and about a 2-inch scar above his elbow on the side of his arm, fresh stitches or a cut across his lips, and he was wearing a black T-shirt, a black vest with a hoodie, black pants, a gold chain with appeared to be a cross on it, a black wristwatch, black leather gloves, and a red bandana over his face. The second suspect, also a black male, about 5'2" tall to 5'4" tall, early 20s, skinny build, also light complexion, short hair, a single gold tooth, wearing a pinky ring, and all black clothing with a white cloth covering his face. We are in the process of collecting and putting together surveillance video that shows at least a couple of the offenses, and we'll be releasing that on our YouTube channel and on the blog as quickly as we can get that processed. But we wanted to at least come forward and make the public aware that these two vehicles and these two subjects are out. I'll take questions now.
Any reason to think that this may be related to the incident that happened in Plano a couple days ago?
I'm not aware of the incident that happened in Plano.
Suspect approached the vehicle, tapped on the window, displayed a gun, they took off, he shot and struck the driver of the vehicle.
Yeah, there's no connection to that at this point, but that's certainly something we would look at.
Was she uninjured?
Yes. Any other questions?
It's got to be pretty bold for them to just fire at somebody.
Certainly. Besides kidnapping a female, firing shots at another individual, these are dangerous criminals that need to be taken off the street. And we ask for the public's assistance in both identifying them and locating them once we release that video and get them identified. So if anybody is aware of this that knows about this already before we even release video, that may be acquainted with these suspects, we ask that they call 911 or call Crime Stoppers at 214-373-TIPS. They can remain anonymous. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $5,000 for information that results in arrest and indictment of felony suspects. Thank you, guys. We'll get that online as soon as we can.
The first vehicle was reported as stolen, right, the Charger?
Yes, yes. Both vehicles are now stolen. The Charger was originally stolen in an aggravated robbery, and the victim's vehicle is still outstanding.
Why are you investigating the short-term
Because the original kidnapping is reported to have occurred in McKinney. They came down to Dallas and committed the aggravated robbery of the donut store, as well as the individual robbery. There may be other crimes. Detectives are furiously working to backtrack and piece together any additional offenses that these suspects may have committed while they had her.